Hello Exhaust Notes Australia viewers, and welcome back to the channel. My name's Dan and you are with me today in the Toyota Camry SL Hybrid. This car sits at the top of Toyota's Camry and passenger car line, and at $50,320 the only real issue you're going to have is being able to purchase one, because apparently these things are sold out. And what I will say, for something that's become the norm for my car reviews, it's another stinking hot day for Sydney. Car's telling me that it's 41 degrees Celsius outside, and it definitely feels like it. But thankfully, the Camry has a really good air conditioning system, and I've got it on low fan just so that I can make this recording, and it's been up to the task. So with the SL, the L I'm assuming stands for luxury, sitting at the top of the Camry tree, this car comes with pretty much all of the features that you would want. Up front, the Camry has a 2.5 litre 4-cylinder engine hooked up to a hybrid powertrain, good for 160 combined kilowatts or 221 newton meters of torque. You put the foot down, it's not the sportiest note, but then that also isn't really the point of this car. And it's really good for just getting around town. It's sipping fuel at about 5.4 litres to the 100 that we've got. The interior is quite comfortable, and we have a large glass house. The windows are quite large, and on the doors don't sit too high. Yet you still feel like you're sitting in the car, which is quite nice. All-round visibility is really quite good here. You do have 3 drive modes, including Eco, Normal, and Sport. Though I really think that the normal demographic for this car won't be using those much. We even have flappy paddles behind the steering wheel, but yeah, I'm not sure they're going to get too much usage. The hybrid system's really smooth. Toyota have had a long time to perfect this, and yeah, the transition from hybrid into petrol into combustion is hardly noticeable, only audibly so. The Camry comes with all of your usual safety features, you know, autonomous emergency braking, lane keep assist, steering wheel assist as well, blind spot monitoring, rear cross traffic alert, all that kind of stuff. We have a 9-speaker JBL audio system, which actually is pretty nice in this. It's a really big screen. I find the look of the interface is a bit basic, but it does the job. And of course we have wired Apple CarPlay and Android Auto. I've found the connection a little bit unreliable with Android Auto, but that could just come down to the cable or the connector. It's just misbehaved a little bit in the first few days I had it. So I'm not going to hold it against the car, but just something to look out for. I have seen some comments online about people having similar issues, and yeah, so just something to be aware of and keep an eye on. But otherwise the stereo is quite good. You can also just play audio through Bluetooth, which has been handy for when that connection just hasn't worked for Android Auto. The native maps are actually quite nice. We noticed the other day was going down one of Sydney's motorways, and when it was telling us to take an off-ramp, it actually brought up a picture of the junction, and it wasn't even like a photograph of the junction. It seemed as though it had been computer generated, but it was quite accurate down to particular characteristics of how that junction looked. So that was quite interesting, quite well thought out, and I can't imagine how many pictures are loaded into the native GPS system just to do that. But you know, a little point of interest. Whether most people are actually going to notice that in the long run, I don't know, but I certainly did. For other comfort, we have heated and ventilated seats, which are certainly coming in handy on these hot days, and they're up to the task, which is also something quite nice. And as I mentioned earlier about the glass house, it's very airy, very roomy in here. But if you find that is not enough for you, you can pull the blind back, which will reveal the full glass panoramic roof, which is quite impressive, and a feature that only the SL has. And so the SL, as I said, is priced at $50,320, whilst the SX, the sports model with the leather, adaptive suspension and 19-inch black rims, is priced at $43,020. So It's about a $7,000 difference there, and so you're going to have to decide whether, by going to your Toyota dealership and just seeing, you know, do you want the red leather interior, do you want the adaptive suspension and the larger wheels, or do you particularly want the glass roof that the SL has for the price difference? Otherwise, on the exterior, aside from the wheels, I think the cars look pretty much the same. The bumpers and that are still very, very much the same. So the exterior styling of the Camry SL, it's an interesting one, because I was taught in school that you don't describe a thing as a thing. You don't say a car looks like a car. But looking at a Camry, it's hard to describe it any other way as to say it looks like a Camry. And I've even had people say that. They'd say it looks so unassuming, it just looks like a Toyota, it looks like a Camry. It's quite plain, very vanilla. And it's interesting, as the SL sits on top of the Camry tree, you look at the front bumper and you see the fake plastic and you think, should something not be sitting behind those vents? And don't get me wrong, I'm quite grateful that this car has come undamaged. There's no rear corner dents or anything like that, but we have the fake vents front and rear, which definitely give it a bit of a distinctive appearance, but you're just wondering if something should be there, a fog light or something behind those front grills. The front grille comes to an interesting point with this almost scoop under the Toyota badge. The SX and the SL do have a small, subtle ducktail spoiler on the boot. It's nothing to get too excited about, but it is there. And the SL does have a dual exhaust outlet on the left side. So the Camry comes with a lot of your conveniences. As I said before, you do have Android Auto and Apple CarPlay. It is wired though, and that is through the front in a USB-A connection. But interestingly enough, in the rear are two USB-C connections underneath the air conditioning vents, and that's just, to me, seems a bit of a weird choice. Why aren't they all the same? It means if you may need to bring two wires, or at least your passengers are going to have their own cables. So this example is in a really nice deep blue, which is called Lunar Blue, and in the rest of the range we have colors like Glacier White, Frosted White, Silver Pearl, Liquid Mercury, Blacksmith Bronze, and Jasper Red. So there's quite a color palette available for your Camry, just so you can stand out a bit. And the colors are quite nice. The red ones I've seen around are actually quite nice as well. So of course Toyota offer a 5-year warranty with all their cars, I believe. And so with Camry it's 12 months or 15,000 Ks. And of course being a Toyota, you can bet it'll be reliable and a trusty steed for many years to come if you do get one. For a bit of experimentation, I decided to see if this model Camry could shake some of its stereotypes, and I'm happy to report that I was able to enter a motorway at speed, perform overtakes, and I wasn't forced to hog the right lane. Something which I'm sure many drivers are all too familiar with. So the Toyota Camry SL Hybrid, it's just one of those practical cars that does it all. It does what it says on the box and it does it well. At the price point, it's quite decent for a top-of-the-line model. And clearly it's still popular because dealerships just can't get enough of them out to you guys. So go to your Toyota dealership if you are interested and just see what they might be able to do for you. So thanks to Toyota Australia for letting me have their car for a week. Thanks Exhaust Notes Australia for letting me review it for them. You know what to do. Like, comment below and subscribe. Plenty more content coming. So thanks for joining me on this one, guys, and I'll see you in the next one. Cheers.